artists. I'm Deb Green. I am so glad that you are here. Each week, I share creative ways to grow your confidence, to learn new techniques, and to help you fall in love with watercolor. This week, I am unboxing this Lightwish 6-ring binder sketchbook, and I have to tell you, it is a real game changer. I had originally planned to review the binder and then take you along with me as I created kind of a front cover artwork on the inside, but the more I used this little binder, I was so impressed and felt like I needed to share so much more about the binder than just a quick little review. Last week, I shared how to swatch your watercolor on cards similar to a baseball card so that you can store them inside of a binder and then just pull individual colors, creating travel palettes, limited palettes, and just customizing palettes for various projects that you might have going. And I discovered that this little sketchbook is perfect to hold those ideas, which I'm just going to give you a little peek inside. I started to do, and then the more I did that, I realized I could also swatch my other palettes as well. And so I really wanted to show you that today. Also, I wanted to mention that this binder allows you to take pages out that you no longer need, and 100% cotton refill pages are available. So this binder is constantly evolving with your watercolor journey. So I wanted to share that this can be so much more than just a binder. I do have the products linked in the description box below. This video is basically in 3 sections. I do a quick review of the binder. I will take you with me as I create the front cover design, and then I'm going to get into a little bit more about the individual palettes. So be sure to watch until the end because there's a lot of information there. If you missed my video about the individual swatch cards, I will link it in the description box below. And while I'm thinking about it, if you enjoy this type of content, if you could please click the subscribe and like buttons, that also tells YouTube that you like the content that I'm putting out, and I would just really appreciate you doing that. I think you're going to like this journal as much as I do, so come on, let's get into it. All right, I went ahead and took it out of the cellophane. I didn't want it to rattle in your ear too badly. First impressions, this is a nice sturdy little book here. The cover is a thick weight and it is edged, like has a little edge dressing on it. The magnet has a nice amount of clasp closure, strong. If I try to lift it up, it's not going anywhere, so I'm impressed by that. I did notice that this is gold. The binding, the rings are silver. It's just kind of a little pet peeve of mine. This is a cool toned sketchbook. I really wish this was also silver, but doesn't really matter, does it? When I open this up, the pages are very thick, very weighty. They are 100% cotton, 140 pound, 300 GSM, so they do not disappoint. Now, I just counted the pages and there are only 15 pages. I thought I was buying 20 pages. And so I took a minute and went back on my Amazon order and noticed that the green cover and the brown cover are 20 pages, while this blue cover is 15 pages. So I'm not real thrilled about that, but I'm not upset enough to take it back and order another one, so I'm just going to deal with it. One other thing I really liked about this sketchbook, and the real reason why I went with this one, is because you can order replacement pages. And I will list this in the description box along with the refill pages, so that you can take a look at those if you're interested. This is cold press paper, so there is a toothiness to it. Let me see if you can see that. And the other side has a light toothiness. It is a little bit smoother, but I know with some sketchbook brands, one side is cold press and the other side is so smooth that it almost feels like a hot press paper. And this does not. It has a good mat to it. You can kind of hear that. And a very light toothiness. So I think it'll work just fine. It does not bother me that these rings cut through the center, because I have no intention of using it as an open face sketchbook journal. If anything, they're a benefit because I want to be able to swap these pages in and out. There is definitely, I don't know if I can get this on here, but there's definitely room for more pages here. You can probably fit couple more pages. Overall, I really like the feel of this binder. It's nice and sturdy. I'm glad that I found it. So come along with me. Let's see how it performs. Okay, so I drew out my front page here, kind of like a book cover was my goal. Pocket palette. I don't know. I just thought that up. Thought it was kind of cute. And I put some leaf graphics so that I could put some extra colors on here along with a little bit of curly cues at the bottom. I just wanted it to have like a vibrant punch. As I was drawing, I didn't use anything special, just a number 2 pencil, which is what I usually grab. And the pencil laid down okay. It seems to lift up just fine as I erase. In fact, before I paint, I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. Even where I erased a few times and redrew, it still looks fine. So I'm going to wake my paints up here a little bit, and I will join you once I'm finished and let you know my thoughts on how well the paint lays down.
Okay, so that was a lot of fun. I really liked how this paper responded to the watercolor and to the markers that I put on top, and it is erasing just fine, so I'm super happy with it. It did buckle a little, but I did not want to tape it down to my table. I like turning it as I paint and draw, so this little bit of a buckle is no big deal. Plus, I'm going to be doing a color wheel on this side during another video, so I have plans for this side. So it should even out just fine. It's been a few days since I reviewed this journal, and I have to say that I am thoroughly enjoying it. I wanted to share a couple of things that I have added in the meantime. The next two drawings are from my previous video in which I talk about creative ways to swatch your colors that give a lot of information but aren't just circles on the page, including how to put together a beautiful cohesive travel palette and also get some information on opacity and value. So if you're looking for creative ways to swatch that are different from just circles on the page, I will link that video down in the description box. Be sure to check it out. And I was having so much fun with this that I just continued on. I had just gotten this Meet and Travel palette because I want to do some sketching outdoors. And like always, the pictures of the paints that come with the palette
are usually inaccurate, so I couldn't wait to swatch these out and thought this was a great way to record those colors. This shows the first 4 sections like this, and then there are still 3 more sections in this palette like that. So I put them on the back like this. And I'm glad I did, because these look really almost like neon colors, very chalky, and they're really not. They really swatched out nicely. So I was super excited to see that. And then I just kept going. I was having such a good time. I swatched out, I'm sticking on my magnet, this Daniel Smith palette that I've had for a while now, and I just love the idea of making a line drawing and swatching out the colors. In my last video, I talked about taking swatches up off of the page onto baseball card size cards so that you can organize them in a binder, which is such a wonderful idea. I was just capturing this palette more for posterity and practice, so I intend on using the cards from here on out and use this palette to put together travel palettes, limited palettes, and other experimentations along. As always, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I truly appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. It is free to do so, and it helps my channel so much. So until next time, I hope you take care and stay creative. Bye-bye.